Welcome to the H2H Human Connection Done Right Summit, bringing together forward-thinking leaders who understand that true innovation happens when people, process, and technology work in harmony. Lean into this refreshing, energizing experience designed to inspire you with a new approach to a timeless principle. Our speakers will offer fresh insights that will challenge perspectives and spark new ideas.
Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining. I'm David Hirschfeld, the founder of Tekyz. We're a software development company. I've spent decades building software for businesses of all sizes. Over the years, technology has evolved really fast. But what excites me right now is how artificial intelligence is transforming the way that we design, build, and even conceive of how that we want to create software, making software more human first than ever. When I say human first, I mean software designed around people, their needs, their behavior, what makes them comfortable, rather than forcing people to adapt to technology. Not long ago, using software often came with a steep learning curve, reading lengthy manuals and sitting through long training sessions just to perform basic tasks. I know I gave a lot of those training sessions. Today, thanks to AI, we're flipping that script, teaching our software to understand who we are and how to speak to us in our language, and even how to anticipate our needs. Think about how you interact with technology in your daily life today. You might ask your phone's assistant to set a reminder or make a phone call, and it actually, usually understands you as if you were asking a human to do it. Or perhaps you've chatted with an online support bot that quickly resolved an issue for you, and maybe you did it without even realizing that you weren't talking to a human. But maybe the most common thing that people are doing today is asking tools like ChatGPT to help out with a problem. And amazingly, it usually gives you the correct answer very quickly. And compare that to how you used to try to find those answers, how long it took and how difficult it was. I've been using these tools daily now for several years, and it still blows me away how it seems to understand not just what I'm saying, but also what I really mean. If that kind of weirds you out, it shouldn't for very much longer, because you'll start to internalize the incredible value that this creates in your life. These experiences are not just gimmicks. They represent a fundamental shift in our relationship with technology. Today, I'll share why the shift matters, regardless of the size of your business. I'll show you that AI-driven, human-first software isn't just a cute catchphrase, but this is a practical reality that you need to leverage in your company now. I'll share real-world examples, including some from my own company, Tekyz, and offer practical insights on how you can get started integrating AI into your business strategy right now. By the end of this talk, I hope that you'll see that harnessing AI is not about replacing people or adding complexity to your life. It's about enhancing the human experience. And I'll show you how AI done right becomes an invisible layer within our daily workflows. So let's dive in. I'll start with this core concept that AI is making software more human-oriented. For a long time, people had to adjust to the way that software worked. We clicked on menus, typed in specific commands, and basically learned to speak computer. It often felt like the burden was on us to understand the machine. AI is turning this around. Now the machine is learning to understand us. One of the most visible examples is how seemingly overnight, AI understands your everyday language. Think of chatbots and voice assistants. As a business owner, you might have used Siri or Alexa or Google Assistant to get information hands-free, such as what's on my calendar today, or what's the weather going to be like this weekend. AI interprets your casual phrasing correctly and gives you a meaningful, relevant answer. You don't have to remember specific commands or how to navigate a complicated app any longer, or it just gets it right, and it gets it usually right every time. Now think about personalization. Remember the last time a streaming service recommended a movie that you ended up loving, or an e-commerce site suggested a product that was just happened to be right for you at that moment. That's AI at work behind the scenes, analyzing your preferences, looking at your behavior, figuring out what it is you need now, and tailoring the experience in real time. For the average person, this makes technology feel more friendly and relevant. Instead of a one-size-fits-all interface, each user gets a version of the service that feels like it really gets them. It's learning who you are and adapting to your needs and preferences, making it feel like a more natural and satisfying experience. User experience design is always aimed to be human-centric, but AI supercharges this. For instance, consider accessibility. AI-driven voice recognition and image recognition are empowering people with disabilities to use software that was previously inaccessible to them. A visually impaired person, for example, can now have their phone describe the contents of an image out. A non-technical person can query a business dashboard by simply asking in plain English, what were our sales last quarter compared to the previous quarter, or compared to the same quarter last year, or what should I change my inventory planning to handle seasonal shifts, things like that. Now, instead of having to dig through menus and reports, you can just ask AI for those answers. To give you an idea of this user experience, last weekend I was at the hardware store and I was there buying parts for a garage project that I'm working on. My wife called me and asked me for some fertilizer for her hibiscus, and she said I shouldn't have any trouble finding it. Of course, I had trouble finding it. There was 100 bags of different types of plant food, and none of them had the word hibiscus on it. So I opened up ChatGPT. I tapped on the mic icon, and then I tapped on the new feature that they have, which is the camera icon, and I held it up, and I was about 30 feet back so I could see all 100 bags. And I said, do you see a plant food for hibiscus on the shelves there? And they say, yes, I do. And it gave me the name of the brand. And I said, what does that look like? And they said it was red with white, red borders with white in the middle. So I found one like that, and I said, is this it? And they said, no, it's not that one. It's second from the top shelf, and it's to your left. And so I turned the camera like this and said, there it is. And it literally found the bag from 100 bags. It instantly picked out the right one and helped me find it. In each of these cases, AI is removing barriers and making software easier for a human to consume and providing value in completely new ways. Like, that's not something I would have imagined 3 years ago that I'd be able to do to find the right fertilizer. The big takeaway here is that AI isn't making software more machine-like. It's making it more consumable and natural to use. It's allowing software to communicate, listen, and adapt in ways that we expect when we're talking to a real person. For a small to medium-sized business, or even for startups, this is game-changing. If your product or service is powered by AI to be more human-oriented, your customers will feel this difference almost immediately. They'll engage more, trust you more, ultimately be more satisfied with interacting with your business, your service, your product. And a satisfied customer is what we're all after, right? Now, beyond improving the user experience, let's talk about how AI opens up new opportunities and makes our businesses' operations more efficient. As business owners and startup founders, you're always looking for an edge, something that can improve your product, streamline your process, or give you insights into your competitors that your competitors don't have. AI does all this. First, consider how AI can handle tedious tasks that we often find boring or time-consuming. Every business has these tasks: scheduling, inventory management, sorting customer inquiries, bookkeeping, you name it. We either hire staff to do these tasks, or we do them ourselves on weekends or in evenings. We've all been there. AI offers a third option: automate those routines in a smart way. Imagine an AI sorting your emails, prioritizing the important ones, and drafting responses to common questions. Think of the hours that you could save if routine emails or scheduling changes were handled by an AI assistant, freeing you and your team up to focus on more strategic activities. AI also enables better decision-making through data analysis, and it's particularly good at this. In the past, to get insights from data, you might have needed to hire a data analyst on your staff and spend hours pouring through spreadsheets. Now, AI can crunch those numbers and find elusive patterns in seconds. There are AI tools that can analyze sales data, tell you which products are selling best during what seasons, during what days of week, during what times of day, or predict which months that you're going to slow down and come up with a new inventory plan. Think about that. Even a small retail shop can have forecasting abilities that rival what big companies pay analysts to do, all because AI-driven analytics is available and consumable. Another opportunity comes in the form of new products and services that simply weren't possible before. AI can be like a research and development team that constantly comes up with innovations. For instance, in healthcare, startups are using AI to analyze medical images for faster diagnosis. In agriculture, small businesses are using AI to monitor crop health with drone imagery and predictive yields. Speaking of drone imagery, there is an AI service using drones that identifies potholes in roads and then schedules trucks with the correct amount of material to go and fix those potholes. These are just a few of the things used. These are things that used to require specialized experts or were not feasible at a small scale. AI is leveling the playing field so that savvy startups can disrupt an established industry by doing something smarter or faster with AI at its core. In addition, AI acts like a force multiplier for your team. It can amplify your team's output. A marketing employee armed with AI can run thousands of customer personalized campaigns in the same time that it would take them to create one generic outreach campaign. A support rep with an AI-driven knowledge base can resolve tickets faster, with AI instantly suggesting the best answers and which resources to use. Your people are crucial. AI gives them superpowers to do more with their time. In a small business where everyone wears multiple hats, that kind of boost is transformative. To sum up this point, AI isn't just a shiny new feature. To attract customers, though, it can be that too. It's fundamentally about enhancing your business operations. It cuts costs by automating repetitive work, uncovers insights by analyzing data, and opens doors to new offerings that you might not have even considered before. Let's ground these ideas with some real-world examples to show human-first AI software in action. These are examples from our own projects at Tekyz, both internal and client projects. The goal is to spark ideas for how you might apply similar concepts within your own business. One of our customers is using AI to compare orders from clients with the invoices that are generated from multiple suppliers used to fill each of those orders. This process ensures that two sides reconcile correctly. When a discrepancy is found, and there's often discrepancies, missing shipping costs, the wrong name for a product, things like that, or the wrong quantities, the system will automatically update the order in the client's ERP system, or when the case calls for it, notify a team member to review the discrepancy and determine the best way to correct the problem. The best part of this system is that the AI continually learns how and why those decisions were made by a person, and over time starts making those decisions itself when permission is given to do so. The result is that the business's ability to grow its revenue continues to increase as AI gets smarter about its business. Another client, and this one is healthcare related, created an AI nurse that learns each patient's medical history, their current medications and their current conditions, and has a deep understanding itself of healthcare, medication, symptoms, etc. Hopefully you're getting the picture here. So now add a friendly voice that can call a patient on their phone, and you have a way to help thousands of patients in need in ways that weren't previously possible. A couple examples. For the first one is, let's say you're running a state Medicaid program. You have tens of thousands of patients who don't fill their prescriptions or who forget to take their meds. And the result is a huge number of emergency room visits costing hundreds of millions of dollars every year that could easily be prevented, assuming that you had a huge staff of medical assistants continually calling these patients to help them fill their prescriptions or get prescription deliveries if they don't have a way to go get their prescriptions, or to give them a friendly reminder to take their meds for those patients that need it and would like that. An AI nurse can do all this easily and even monitor a patient's health from wearable devices and intercede when it's necessary. Another use case is to provide transition assistance for patients that are leaving a hospital for a long-term care facility. There just aren't enough nurses available to provide this type of service. And even if there were, the cost would be too high to employ them. Well, now there are enough AI nurses. AI nurse Clara can call 100 patients simultaneously, giving each a personalized conversation about their specific transition needs and answer any questions to help them feel comfortable in a perfectly natural, empathetic sounding back and forth conversation. So let me now give you a few examples of my own company's journey with some internal projects with AI. A few years ago, I created a methodology called Launch First to help software founders launch their software products more successfully with less risk and much more quickly. The most difficult part of this step in this process is the tedious process of doing niche analysis. This helps founders confidently identify the best early adopter niche, which is a critical success factor when you launch a new product. But because this step is so tedious, a lot of founders fatigue before completing it successfully. So to help founders through this step, we are developing an AI-powered solution to identify the best early adopter niche. And there's a lot involved in this, but this will help founders now launch their products with much less risk and much faster. Imagine how many startups might find a path to revenue using a tool like this that may have otherwise failed. Another product has to do with project estimation. We pride ourselves on the ability to do really accurate estimations. And anybody that's been involved in project management knows how difficult it is to do accurate estimations and also how much it costs when the estimates are off. It's taken us years to develop this methodology, but it comes at a cost because it requires a lot of time and it requires my most senior people to execute and create these accurate estimates. Oh, wait, time-consuming, intensive, costly process? Are those code words for AI? Well, we think so. So we built an internal tool that we just released internally called Estimize, which now will understands how we do projects and now will generate these estimates for us. It literally will build a very detailed module breakdown for the project and put cost and resource estimates for that project and time and duration, either as accurately or even more accurately than our team can do. And we get some additional benefits from that as well, because it will identify gaps that we may have missed in the requirements and even make suggestions to us about compliance, security, and things like that. Estimize makes us better, faster, and makes my top people now available to contribute directly to client projects instead of having to spend a lot of their time in estimates. So I could go on with examples, but I think you get the idea. So now, how do you implement AI into your own business? Because you don't want to wait. You want to get going right now. The first thing you want to do is identify all of the bottlenecks in your business, all of the problems that you struggle with, all of the tedious work, and put them in a list of priorities and pick the first priority and go after that. Research the market for tools that may already be available that handle that exactly. And if not, speak to somebody that knows a lot about AI and automating workflows, and see if there's a easy, inexpensive, consumable way to implement AI for that part of your business. Just pick one thing. Don't try to roll this out if you have multiple locations. Just do it in one location first. Think of it like a prototype. This will start to take on a life of its own. And make sure you bring your team into the process. You need their buy-in. And what I say is you want to get the buy-in from the red shirt first. A red shirt is the person that has lots of social gravitas, but may be the most difficult person who's always complaining and talking about problems that need to be addressed. Find that person, bring them in on the project. And if you do, everybody else will come along with them. So, and once people start to realize that this is not going to replace them, but it's going to help them bring out their own superpowers, they'll get behind it and start to help you implement throughout your company and make it more successful. Keep in mind that when you're implementing AI, you also have to be sensitive to your customers from the standpoint of what data are you making available to AI? Are you keeping it private? or is it public? Do they understand the privacy issues around it? Because you building trust with customers as well as with your employees is crucial. And AI can actually help you build that trust if it's done in the right way. So we've covered an awful lot of ground. The last thing I wanted to leave you with is an example. One last example of an internal project that we're doing. Project management is a difficult process when you're in any kind of business, including especially in software development. We have bugs that we have to track. We have builds and releases and schedules and feature requests. And these things get duplicated in the system over and over again. And at the end of every release, we have to clear it out. So we're designing a voice agent that allows our customers and our development team now to speak to the project management tool, adding bugs. The AI looks for similar bugs. It updates the existing bug or creates new bug report, but now all the duplication goes away. The process of managing becomes very humanistic, and all of that frustration that customers have and development team has because of the tedium of managing all this disappears. This is probably a quintessential example of what I mean by human first. So now that we've covered a lot of ground, let's take a step back and reflect on what all this means for you and your business. AI is not a distant future concept. It's here now, and it's ready to work for you and accessible to businesses of all sizes. You don't want to wait. The world is moving fast. Just as the internet revolution happened in the 90s and the mobile technologies revolution happened in the 2000s, and this reshaped the business landscape, AI is doing the same thing right now. There's a saying, it's not about digital transformation anymore. It's now about AI transformation. In other words, adopting AI is becoming as fundamental today to businesses as having a website or social media presence was a decade ago. AI is ready to help you propel your business forward. You only need to take the first step. Thank you all for your time and attention. The future of software is human first. And with AI as your ally, there's no better time now to start and make the future a reality in your own business. If you're not sure how to do it, find somebody that you trust, that understands how to assess business, how to assess what's possible with AI, what's available today, and what you may have to build custom, which some of those custom things can be simple and easy to accomplish using tools available today. And frankly, some need to be applications, but add a tremendous amount of value and intellectual property to your business as well. So don't wait, get started. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to share with you my journey with AI and what I think it means for business.
Thank you for joining us in today's forward-thinking session of Human Connection Done Right. As we transition to our next expert speaker, remember that together we are redefining the future. To stay engaged and informed, visit revenue-bydesign.com, where together we will be deliberate, be intentional, and be successful.